All right. Hello, everybody. I'm going to do a quick rundown of the one-page strategic plan and give you some more data on what should go where and how I've started filling it out. I've got a part filled out strategic plan for On Track. This is the kind of thing that I would normally do before I start a business, but I was just called to start this one, so I just started it anyway. Kind of had some of this stuff in my head, but I want to take you through what it actually looks like and what's important to get done inside the strategic plan so that you can get a bit of an idea of how you should use it. Okay, cool. So here we go. We're going to jump in. I'm probably going to update this template, by the way. There are some feedback that I've received from some of you that are filling it out that it's a bit tough and some things don't quite make sense. So I might make a bit of an updated template. But in the meantime, I just wanted to record this and share how this one works. And then you can, if we update it, then I'll give you another rundown on it. Cool. Okay. So core values. Core values is where we start with basically like, what are the values inside the business? And I've split them up into people-based values and process-based values because some of them are related to the kind of people that we want to attract. Who we want to have on the bus. And if you've read Good to Great, you would know you want to have the right people on the bus, the wrong people off the bus, and then ideally you then have the bus going in the right direction, right? But the people values is about, okay, what do we want our people to value? How do we want how do we want to attract the right people, and basically who are they based on the values that we define? And then the process-based values are, well, how do we do things in the business, right? So the process is about the how. It's about how it's actually implemented. The people values are about the who. Hopefully that makes sense. Cool. So you can see here, I've got a few values here that I've defined for On Track. So one is like client success is our success. Makes sense for a coaching business, right? Creating community, that's really important to me for us to create a community of entrepreneurs, because many entrepreneurs are going about their business solo. And so my vision for On Track is that, okay, this is a place for people to come together. And then how rather than what, I've spoken about that many times. I want our members of On Track to look at how problems are solved rather than specifically just solving the problem. And what's behind that, so you can see kind of like what's behind the curtain there is if you think about like going to a therapist, they actually have a business model which keeps you connected to them, right? Because if they never solve your problems, then effectively you've got to keep coming back, right? But if I teach you how to solve problems, hopefully eventually you'll graduate in some way from On Track, because you won't kind of need someone to guide you on your strategy. You'll learn the muscle of strategy yourself. And then you get to then, grow and have your business be successful. Anyway, but that's a little bit behind the curtain there. Cool. So that's values. Next, we'll go to core focus. So we've got passion and niche. And so this, I guess, for me is defined as like, what part of the market do you want to be in? Like, what are you passionate about personally? Like, you could call this like mission, vision, who do you want to serve? And you can see here, passion for me is elevating entrepreneurs. I believe that entrepreneurship is the greatest path to freedom. And I believe that entrepreneurship is an amazing path for business owners to grow and business owners to be the best version of themselves. And so I want to help support entrepreneurs to be successful in that along their life path. And so that's what I'm really passionate about. And this business happens to just be kind of like secondary to that. The business is just the vessel for me achieving that life purpose. So helping entrepreneurs create freedom and helping entrepreneurs to go along the personal development journey of entrepreneurship, I'm here to support, basically, and I'm passionate about that. What is the niche? Well, the niche I like working with is business owners that are like out of survival mode. Someone might still be in survival mode, but like their business is established, right? It's doing more than $100,000 a year, because if it's under that, then it's like it's not really an established business. It's still like kind of being birthed. I want to help the toddlers that are like, and I'm talking about the business, not the members, but the business is like a toddler and it's like walking around, it's like bashing its head on things and it's falling over every now and again. I want to help those get to like successful scaling businesses. That's what I like doing, and that's where I want to play. So I name that. That's my niche. And then I know, okay, if someone comes to me and they're doing like hundreds of millions of dollars a year, probably not where I want to work. If someone's just getting started and they're just launching and they have a credit card and an idea, probably not for me either. So what do I help them do? Well, we've talked about this a little bit on calls. I help people navigate the desert. So it's called the desert, between 4 and 20 employees, which is where, like a toddler, you're falling over, you're stumbling, and you're having challenges along the way. And what is needed there is to build culture, to build systems, to build strategy, and then to be disciplined around that strategy. And so I specifically want to help with those things. So that's my core focus, and you should be able to develop your core focus. Now, notice this one's called passion. It's intrinsically linked to what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about entrepreneurship. I'm passionate about business. I'm passionate about technology. I'm passionate about psychology. All of those are hit with this. And so ideally you want to find, now it might be hard for you to find that in your business, but see if you can find in what way do your personal values, things you personally value, and in what way does your personal ambition and your personal passions link into the business. And it might be qualities about you. It might be personality qualities, or it might be things that you actually value. If you don't know what you value, John DeMartini values has like a free values thing on his website. Value determination. I think that's what it's called. Let me find it. Oh, he also looks like a YouTube video there. Determine my values there. He's got a little quiz. He's got a quiz there. So go check that out if you want to do some work on that. Okay, cool. 10-year target. Now, this is important that it's a 10-year target, because remember, it's that like 10x thinking. It's that big picture thinking. When you have big picture thinking and you set what's called a BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal, then you're really going to think bigger, and it's going to stretch you, and you're going to get your creative mind thinking, because it's not logical to think about your business 10x. It's not a natural progression to get to 10x. So thinking really big is going to help you. Now, when I look at that number, create 1,000 new impact entrepreneurs. And what an impact entrepreneur is, when someone graduates above 20 employees, they're out of growth mode, they're into scale mode in their business, and they get their time back. What people tend to do is they have more time to work on their personal relationships, but they also have more time to give back to their communities. And I really love seeing that. And so I want to convert more entrepreneurs from income generation to impact generation. And 1,000 is going to be hard for me, because I've only got 20 people in this container. And even after 10 years, that would only be 200 people, right? If I refreshed everyone out 12 months. So to create 1,000 new impact entrepreneurs, I've got to start thinking creatively about how I might be able to do that. And so that's why I set a target like that. And it was a bit scary. I was sitting on a flight, I was typing this out, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll just do 250 entrepreneurs. And I was like, no, shit, that's not big enough. Let's do 1,000. And I'm going to have to work out how to do that along the way. And what does that do? That inspires me, and it helps me to have something to look forward to in the future as well. And when we have something to look forward to and something to strive to, we feel better about our life. We don't off ourselves when we wake up in the morning. So it's an important thing to have a future vision and to be working towards and striving towards something, even if we're pulling a number out of our butt. It's very, very important for us and for our mental health. Cool. Next up, we go to marketing strategy. And so, like, who is our target market? That should be pretty straightforward. I'm looking specifically for owner-operator entrepreneurs growing the business, but the profits might be stagnant or low. They don't have a community around them. They may not have a mentor or business coach. They may not have had one in the past. And they've not yet got the golden rule financial freedom. So golden rule financial freedom is where your recurring revenue and the recurring gross profit that you have in the business, so the recurring profit line from that recurring revenue, exceeds your operational expenses. And I'll probably make a separate video on this. But I'll say it again, your gross profit, so your recurring gross profit for your recurring products in the business exceeds all of your operational expenses. And what that means is day one of the month, you're in profit. Day one of the month, you're in profit because your recurring subscriptions have just taken care of everything. If you can create, now, not every business can be created as a membership business, and it's not the solution to everything. But if you can create this, my God, it's a good way to live. And that's basically where I got to all those years ago when I was 27 and effectively semi-exited the business, was the business got to that point where The recurring revenue was taking care of things. Anyway, so that's what I want to help people to get to, because that gives you, and usually it's around 20 staff based on the maturity of your business. What that gives you is the ability to step back. All right, cool. So target market. You can see there that I'm very, very targeted about specifically who I'm looking for. So when someone fills out an application form for OnTrack, I'm going to guide whether or not they're suitable for my program based on whether or not they're in the target market. Because it means that when I'm on the calls with you, I can use one common language and it's appropriate for everyone on the call. Okay, so next up, unique offer. What is my unique offer that I'm going to be sharing with those people? Well, I can create board-like feedback and reflection from someone who's been doing it for 20 years. Great. And I'm pretty good at that because I've not only run my own business, but I've also been a board member for other businesses as well. And I have multiple businesses that I've been a part of, not just one business. And I've spent a lot of time working with senior leaders. And I love working with senior leaders as well. I don't really work well with people that need to be spoon-fed. I work really well with people that I can say, go do this thing, and they'll go do the thing. And I don't have to follow up in 3 days and check on them or micromanage them. That's who I work best with. Next up, you can learn from other experiences in the group. And you get access to, basically, I've spent over $500,000 in coaching programs and masterminds and blah 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 and mentors myself. So you're getting like a condensed secondhand version of that. And so that unique offer is suitable to the target market. So you want to look at your business and go, okay, well, what's your unique offer? And how does that fit for your target market? So if you have a unique offer, that should be targeted for your specific target market, and it should be something that has you stand apart from your competitors. How do I stand apart from my competitors? Probably my young age, I would say. Young entrepreneur, because what you're getting is millennial experience. Most business owners are in the Gen X age group, and Gen X desire having nice things and living a good life and retiring well. That's like the mindset of Gen X. Gen Y, millennials, our highest value is the value of freedom. And so we really, really desire freedom. And so you'll notice that the entrepreneurs in those age groups actually operate very differently. So that's the unique perspective that I bring to this that not many other business coaches can really bring, because there's not many other 33-year-olds that have built a $10 million business. And so that's something that's very, very, very unique that makes my offer of OnTrack very unique for my customers. Now, I'm sharing this with you so you can think, what's very unique about your offer? What's unique about your offer in the marketplace? Not necessarily because of you personally, but what's very unique about your offer in the marketplace, and document that. And this is how you make yourself what's called a market maker. And a market maker is someone who doesn't really have competitors, because your business is so unique and your offer is so unique that it basically stands completely different to everybody else. Think about Canva. Canva became a market maker because, it was a little bit like Photoshop. You can still get the same kind of thing done as you can with Photoshop, but it was online and it was collaborative, which Photoshop took like 3 to 5 years to build out after Canva had arrived. So market maker, completely new service. Cool. Uber is the same. Many Silicon Valley startups are the same. Cool. Proven process. So proven process is about what is the economic engine of your business. And Good to Great, there's something called the hedgehog concept. And the economic engine is like, what is the one thing that you can be the best in the world at, that you can repeat at scale, and your customers will come to you for, and you can just churn it out day by day. And so this one I haven't actually updated for OnTrack yet. I'm still learning our proven process. This is a pilot that we're working on together currently at the time of this recording. And so what I'm learning is, okay, how does this actually work, and how can I make sure that I really serve the customers that are coming through? But if I were to put down a proven process so far for OnTrack, it would be, regular business reflection of strategy. And I'd like to say, and keeping on track. I don't know if there's a better way to say it, but basically, when you have repetition in your strategic thinking, and you have repetition in your planning, and you have repetition and this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, it tends to keep you on track. For most entrepreneurs who are creatives and are thinking of new ideas and chasing bright shiny objects, and perhaps you meet some of the qualifiers for ADHD type behavior patterns, you're probably going to be coming up with new ideas every week, and you're probably going to be putting out different fires every week, and it's really easy for you to deviate from the plan. And my hope is that the process of On Track will be repeated, repeated connection to your strategic plan will mean that you're more likely to stick to that strategic plan. Anyway, that's probably going to be what my proven process is. I'm also building a checklist of, here's going to be like the foundational steps that you have to have done when you enter On Track. And then here's like, okay, once you've got the foundations done, here's going to be like phase 2 of systemizing and scaling. Here's going to be phase 3 of systemizing and scaling. And so I've started building that out. That'll probably be part of my process too. Cool. All right. 3 to 5 year targets. So these are not the crazy 10-year ones. These are the realistic 3 to 5 year ones to give you a revenue target to aim for. You can see how I've got revenue. Rec revenue is recurring revenue, profit and debt levels. Up to you how you want to define these. You may want to do KPIs for different areas of the business if you're big enough, but it's totally fine just to do revenue and profit if you want. But also, look at some of the things that I've defined here, like number of people, number of people that we've sold in terms of like licenses. Like we've got a customer satisfaction score goal here. We've got team goals. We had previously, I don't know why they're not here anymore, but we had previously things like our revenue and our marketing goals as well, like the numbers of new people that we wanted on the database. Put all those in, they're all your practical numbers. And then we come down to execution. Now, this one is really important, market drivers. What I want you to do here is I want you to look at what are the trends happening in your marketplace in the next 3 to 5 years. So the market trends that are happening mean where are things going? Where are things going for the next 3 to 5 years? Where are you going to see things go, right? And so in the next 3 to 5 years, you're going to see, technology change. You're going to see culture change. You're going to see buying pattern behavior change. I want you to reflect on those and think about them and think, how can you skate to where the puck is going? How can you align yourself and align your business to the place where those trends are happening so that when they change, you can be there? Now, the example that I'll give you for that is we saw the consumerization of technology happening for business owners well before it actually hit. And what I saw 10 years ago was people started using WhatsApp and people started using Messenger, right? And people started using audio messages to each other and sending gifts to each other and, sending pictures, and, you jump on a video chat and we're just calling all day long on video chats and Messenger with family. And I was like, oh, wow, that's probably going to make its way into the business world, right? And what happened? Apps like Slack appeared, and apps like Google Chat appeared, and Microsoft Teams to compete with Slack. These tools are not new. Instant messaging existed before then, but they started coming from the consumer world into the business world. And what we saw was, okay, business is going to change to more casual communication approaches. People are probably going to be using email less, and they're probably going to be using their instant messaging style communication more. And so we thought, okay, well, how should we position ourselves to that change? Well, for one, email is probably going to disappear sometime in the next decade or become less used sometime in the next decade. And so we can't just be a business about email anymore, because that's not going to be the primary consumer technology. And so we basically got rid of that. Well, we didn't get rid of that, but we got rid of that focus, and we started broadening our horizon to include other business applications that we service, like task management, like CRM systems, like security products, like antivirus, like password management, like backups. And we basically rounded out our product suite so we served a more broad small business technology suite rather than just primarily doing email, which is what we had done for nearly a decade before. The next thing that we did was we started educating business owners on communication, on teamwork, on scaling teams, and moved away from just the technology side of things, because we knew, okay, we can't just be technologists, because the tech is going to get so easy that business owners won't need the IT guy anymore. It's going to be so easy to use, like Xero.com. You can see here that that Xero was one of the tools that I even named there. It became so easy that that business owners could just set up tech tools themselves and they wouldn't have to rely on an IT guy to do it for them. And so our service became less about doing it for you and more about doing it with you. So that's 2 times that we skated to where the puck was going. And I want you to think about that for your business. Think about what is happening in the next 5, maybe even 10 years in culture, in technology, in the way that people relate, in the way that people work, in the way that people are working specifically in your industry. What is going to change, and how can you potentially adapt to that change? Cool. Key partnerships is like referral partnerships, advisory partnerships. Anyone else in the business that you should name who's outside the business. So it might be your accountant, your lawyer, someone who refers business to you. You want to name these so your team know who they are and know that those relationships are important. Challenges to execution. That's a little bit like like SWOT analysis. Strengths, opportunities, weaknesses, threats. I don't think that's in the right order. And then yearly actions is what are you going to do this year? And then quarterly actions is what you're going to do this quarter. I'd probably put yearly first and then quarterly second. This template's not perfect. But yearly actions is like, okay, what's the stuff that needs to be done? What are the strategic projects for the year, right? Strategic project might be, we need to rebuild our website. That would probably be able to be knocked over within 1 quarter. Yearly project might be, we need to develop a new marketing channel. Yearly project might be, we want to open up a new product line. Yearly strategy might be, I want to build a team to do X in this area of my business. Yearly action might be, I don't know. I think that's probably giving you enough of an idea. And then quarterly actions are, okay, what are the individual projects and what quarter are we going to do them? Because you want to map them out. You can't do 10 strategies in 1 quarter. You can probably do 1 or 2 or 3 and really nail them. So if you're building a new website, you might say, right, that's going to be quarter 1. If you're launching a new product, you might say, well, quarter 1 is going to be, researching and identifying and piloting the product. And then quarter 2 is going to be the official launch and initial sales of the product, right? And so, try not to cook yourself, try not to, push yourself and force yourself to get it all done within 90 days because things can be a bit difficult. And remember that the future quarters can shift and change over the course of the year. But what's happening right now in this quarter is pretty much locked in. And when you've identified what you're doing for the year, and that can be a little bit flexible, but you've identified more strictly what you're doing for the quarter, once you have those locked in, it means that if a bright, shiny object comes along and you're like, oh, you know what? I should launch an app, or something else comes to your mind. Oh, wow, this is a really great opportunity. Maybe I should launch this product, or maybe I should sell this product. You're going to put that on the list for next quarter potentials. So potential next quarter projects, you're going to put that on the list. And so what you might do is, let's say you could potentially even split this cell here, or you might say like next quarter ideas. And then you just put it on the ideas list and then you don't touch it. Okay. I'm going to say bright, shiny, object. There we go. Cool. So you put that on next quarter's ideas and you don't touch it during this quarter. But at the end of the year, at the end of the quarter, when you do a review, you touch on that quarter. All right, cool. And then you can see here quarterly actions and responsibility. If you've got team, ideally you want to be delegating to your team to be responsible for that. So that's very important for you. There you go. If you have questions, drop them down below. I don't know if the YouTube comments is the best place. Probably drop them in on track somewhere. I will. I'll help you out as much as possible. But hopefully this has been useful. At the time of recording, it's just before Christmas break. So this is a great time for you to spend some time on your strategic plan when you're probably away from the day-to-day a little bit. So if you get some time, make sure you get into this and let me know if you need any help.